So we're gonna create a first robot. The first thing we should do is to create the silhouette. So first we kind of have to get the shape. So if you guys just go here in the toolbar, you can see that there's like a lot of tools. And then now when we pull this, we have our ellipse tool. So okay, so this is like the head. The head is like around this size, probably. It seems very big because it's a very cute character. So we're gonna like, yeah, we're gonna give it a very big head, and then we're gonna give it a body like about this size. Oops. Actually, I kind of want to extend it a little bit more to the side. Yep. And then we can add in the arms as well. So for this one, okay, you can always just use the tool, or you can always just like hand free it. So for me, I would just kind of like go like this. So this is kind of like a circle-ish. Like obviously you can always just do your circle, for example, like this, and then you just copy this. Oh, this is the marquee tool, by the way. Oh, the lasso tool, by the way. So you go up top here, you can either click the marquee tool, the first one, but most of the time I just use the lasso tool. Just click on this one, and then where I just hit Q, and I just circle around it, and then I just kind of like tilt it a little bit. Now the shape looks kind of odd, but I just kind of get rotate it until I get like a roughly good shape, and then I just put it back in there. Look how nice the silhouette is. And I'm just gonna blend in here. Just gonna blend it in. Look how nice that silhouette is. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Got something like this. So you can see that the head is like a circle. This one's like a circle. This one's like a circle and a circle and a circle and a circle and another circle. Oh, wait, that's not a circle. Another rectangular and another rectangular, and then another a triangle and another triangle. So we have all sorts of shapes here that makes up a character. So we're gonna kind of like roughly color a character. I want to do something like an outline, so I just select this entire area, hit Shift O. So this is kind of like outline mode. I just change this color to index 1. Oh wait, index 0. We're going with 0 0 0 0 0 0. So something like this we can add in there, and then I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this color. Is it different? Yes, it's slightly different. I want the head to be the brightest because that's our focus. That's our main focus. And then we're gonna color this. I'll probably just use the bucket tool, which is here on the side. Pencil, eraser, paint bucket tool, or hit G. I just hit G most of the time. I don't know where it is on the sidebar. I hit G, and then I just put it here, like right on the body. And then I also give the leg a little bit more color. My personal preference is that I like it very small and compact, because I don't have to move my hand too much. I like small things. Yay. Just perfectly fits. I hope that doesn't get cut out of context. So the next thing that we're gonna do after we got our rough coloring is we're gonna do some shading. So for example, this character is facing this way, right? I kind of want to do like a shade on this side, just like that. You're gonna have to see which direction is the robot facing. So if the robot is facing this way, like this, and the shading should be on this side, you know, because the lighting. Right, let's bring back the yellow sun, tiny yellow sun. If it's shining from here, this entire area here is gonna be in the light part. This entire area in the back here is gonna be in the shadow. If you're drawing like a character or an object, if you you can see that the brighter color always just pops. Let me just put it here. The brighter color always just pops. And so there's this illusion that this area up here is going to be closer to us because it's the first thing that catches our eye, and then the other thing is just like going to be pushed way back. So imagine our eye has like this light that shines from our eye. So something like this. The closest one, right? The closest one is going to be the brightest, and then as it go further down, light is have a harder time reaching these, or like sometimes it's covering the shadow or something. So the area behind is going to be a bit darker. So for example, if I'm doing the face, the head, it's a little bit big and this part is a little bit protruded compared to the neck. I just make the neck like a darker color. So for example, this area here, I'm making it a darker color, just like that. Yes, ray tracing. This is what they did back in the day when they don't have true 3D. So right now, I'm kind of like, since the character is like shifted a bit to the left, I'm also just putting all of these things here on the left side. And similarly, on the left side as well. Just put it all on the left. Okay, this one's slightly different. Cause this thing here we can put on the left side, but it can work. It can work. I would say it can work. Me personally, I like to put it on top. And hear me out, guys. Hear me out, cause this is like the top part of the arm, and so this part is kind of like curved back, and it's just like the side of the arm that kind of like got pushed back. And then I could always add in for the shoulder pad, I could always make it like, oh, wrong color. I can make it a little bit brighter, just like that. And for this one as well, kind of like stretch the arm a little bit. So there's a little bit more shading, more bright shading on this part. I finished shading here. I think I should finish shading here a little bit. So even the legs, you can also just shade it a little bit like this. Just give it like a little blob. I try to shade it in the front, and here I try to shade it in the middle because it's, you know, I'm trying to suggest that there's a perspective. This one we're looking more on the side, and the side is just an entirely different surface. If you guys watched the the sword tutorial, or the sword VOD that I have it on, hopefully it's still on. If you watch that one, I also talk about how if this is like a different surface, you would want to pick a different color for it, because this just separates these two entirely. And from the preview window, I don't know if you guys can see it, like here, the preview window, you can see that it looks as if these two are two different surfaces. Like this is like the front and this is like the side. It's like a cube shape, like this. So yeah, just with using a simple color like this, it already just suggests that that is an entirely different surface. You don't have to do too much. Like you don't have to do like this. Actually, doing like this is kind of bad because you don't want to separate with a very dark color. What you want to do is just to take a dark color in general and just color this entire surface with a, yeah, on the side, just like that. Okay, so we're gonna add more details here. So I saw this ear here, so we're gonna draw the same ear here. On our leg, what we're gonna do is, since the robot, right, it comes in like pieces. So the body is like this, kinda. And on the body, there are certain gaps, or like there are like joints in certain areas. For example, around here, there's gonna be a joint because it's gonna connect the body and the head. And this one is also a joint because it connects with the leg. so this one, it's another joint there. Imagine like the leg just goes straight in just like this, and the leg goes straight in just like this, and like the neck just goes straight in just like this, because it's all just joints. And the armor piece, to accommodate this, it has to, be a little bit more inset, just like this. Like it has to be a bit more curvier, so the joint here, it has a certain flexibility to kind of like move around. Similar here, similar here. So you have that flexibility to kind of like rotate your head or rotate your legs or something like that. For example, around here, there's like this little metal piece that just separates the front. I'll separate these two parts, and it covers the hinge. And then I can make the body a bit more bulky, like this. There. Extend the leg out a little bit. I can't. Alright, so, okay. So here, we're still doing shading a little bit. Gonna add in the shading here, because it's like the back of the leg. Somewhere around there. And I'm gonna add like a little shading here, just to make this area like a bit more brighter. So I'm adding shading here in between the legs, shading at the back here, because this one is, I'm making it very coherent to the entire drawing. So for example, if you draw something here and you put the shading here, you would want to put the shading here as well, because you're looking at like everything is very perspective. So if you suggest some sort of perspective here, you should also suggest the same kind of perspective here. And while you're at it, when you're drawing perspective and stuff, you could also you should also kind of like pick the same color-ish for this area and for this area as well, because it's both on the side. You remember when I said like, different colors suggest different surfaces? If you use the same color, it's going to suggest the same kind of surface angle. So this one right here is this kind of surface. It suggests this angle. So this one also takes the same color, and it suggests that this area here is on the same side as this area here. And since this is the entire side of the character, so we also just take that and then just color it. So for example, I could also do it here as well. Just like this. So it adds a little bit more. It just retains the perspective that we want. I'm just adding that random thing there because, because perspective. It's all about perspective. And yeah. So something like that. And I also want to keep this part so it's a bit more. Yep. And I kept this there. Let's just make it a little bit more like this. Okay. So I honestly could do something like this. I just want to separate the two areas a little bit more. So now you can see that this robot seems way more 3D than what we had at the start. I should have like a before and after. Just put it here, I'm just gonna make this leg a bit more like curved like this. See, now it just keeps the curve shape that I kind of want. So yes, we're making the robot. We're on this step right now, and then we'll oh my god, I forgot the eyes. How could I forget the eyes? Oh my god. Just add in the eye. Just like that. Maybe I can push this one to the left a little bit more. There. There you go. That was a bit better. And I can just round the corner a little bit. Ta-da! Make this part a bit thicker. So make it even more rounded. Just add 1 pixel there. So yeah, that's pretty rounded. Maybe just elongate it a little bit more. So it has this oval shape. Yep. All right, we got our eyes. Make it as big as possible. The big round eyes. So these ones here are also gaps. So most of these gaps, I just take a darker color and then I just fill it in with the dark colors here. Similarly, I just fill it in right here as well. So we can shade the side a little bit like this on this side, because I want this thing to be a curved surface. So how we shade the curved surface is like this. You have an area, you have a plate, like a metal plate that's curved like this. And how you want to shade it is at the highest point, the point that's closest to the light. Here, the point here our eye is kind of like a light source. I think I explained it earlier in the video, in the stream. Imagine our eye is like a light source, and then the one that is closest to our eyes is going to be the brightest. And so that's why, for example, here, let's just add an outline. Just add an outline to this area. Okay, and then, for example, if we have a plate like this, we want to shade it right in the middle here, at its most curved part. So you can shade it something like this. Usually it is at the most curved part. If there are any other exceptions, you can just base it off of how, you know, light hits the object and stuff, and just adjust it however you think might fit. And here on the side is like our shadow. You just pick a darker shadow, something like this, right there. So this is our kind of like a shiny, imagine like a shiny point. Like, for example, if you have a coin and sometimes it just shines, like it just indicates that there's like there's a little glow, like you can pick up this coin, it's valuable. It's like that shine that goes through it. So imagine this thing is like the shine on the thing, the shine on the object. Since this is also metal, you can add this in as well and draw the two sides a bit more darker. So we also add it here and here in the middle. For this plate, we make it a bit lighter, just like that. Similarly, we can also do it here, where the light part is right in the middle there, and then it transitions back into the dark colors. Good. How to shade metal. So while we're doing this, right, you can see the shadow here. Very interestingly, shadow can suggest detail. So before, without this shadow here, if I just erase that, right, you can see that everything looks merged into one another, and it's really hard to see what area is which. And then if we introduce a little shadow in here, it suggests detail. It suggests that, oh, there's like a gap here. So for example, this robot has an upper plate and a lower plate on the body, something like this. Actually, I want to finish shading this. I think I haven't finished shading. I got sidetracked. I got absolutely sidetracked, guys. And yeah, so that's like the upper body and that's like the lower body. Okay, so I roughly shade it now. Shadow adds a lot of depth. So here's an example. So I take this piece and I kind of aligned it like this. Maybe even more. So you can see that these are the gaps in between the plates. And by adding these gaps, I make it look like there's like a 3-plate kind of detail. That is why you want to use the closest shadow, but really depends on what shadow you're picking. For example, like this one is like bright, and the closest shadow is like this one, so I just picked this one. I just picked this purple color right here, and I just do like a strike through in the middle with a little curve like that. Sometimes you can use this color for a bit more depth. So for example, I want to add a bit more depth here. I can always just do something like this. But it has to connect to a piece because it is part of a shadow. And what we're gonna do next is I think, do we have all the details in yet? Okay, the legs as well. We're missing the feet. I'm just gonna do a very simple. You guys can always just, you know, outline the entire feet as well. This one I forgot to outline. Yeah, we got the rough shape. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Okay, maybe I want to add details on the face, right? Just push the head up a little bit more. Robots, the thing about robots is that they have a lot of these kind of lines because they make out of different plates, metal plates. So you can see these kind of lines just scattered around the character. So for example, if I want to add a line there, just add in a very tiny detail here, like this, right? Add in my light, something like that. And then this shadow here is not too bright of a shadow, but it suggests that this is a it suggests that there's like a line here. There you go. So very simple details like that. I mean, this is a bit too bright. I think I pick a darker color. What I did here is that I just, between these, right, I know that there's an edge here, and so I just add in a very light, a very bright edge, like a very bright color along the edges. And now it looks like this is a separate piece and this is a separate piece, and this part really sticks out compared to before, where it looks like it sticks out, but it might just be a normal transition. And this thing as well, you can also just either add it to the edge just like this. I'll just add it up until there. And then maybe on this part of the hand, I also add it up top, like right between the light and the shadow. So that's where you want to add it. Now we're gonna shade our butt a little bit more, like we have the head. So this is what I do. I just shade it here, so like this ball right here, and I just do like a little circle, kind of shade it up here a little bit, and then I can add in maybe a shade there. It's just very random. Yeah, so this is decently solid, I would say. Maybe if you want to make this spot a bit like the face is a bit more curved, you can always just, you know, add shadow to this part as well. That's just like a suggestion. It's like things that you can do. So I'm gonna add this to some part of the character. I just put it on the opposite side of the shadow. I mean, there's not really any strategic placement for this one, honestly. I just blob colors wherever I want to put it. The only thing that is strategic about placing these is that I place all my greens on one side and all my purple on the other side. So as you can see, the purple is on here, the green is here. So I just kind of strategically place them here. Just like that. And just curve through the character just like this. Like, I always want to try to really explain this, but I don't know. I think I'm not capable enough of explaining this. So I just put it randomly. Tactical color placement. This is very tactical. You can see the tacticality in this very tactical color tactical placement. The tacticalness here is tactical. So we're gonna place in our light color here. I don't know why I did this, honestly. I just think it's very pretty. What an amazing art tutorial. Why do I place it there? I just think it's pretty. I think it's pretty. That's why I put it there. I'll be like, so guys, I like this color here, and I want to place it here because I really like the color, and I really like how it's just here in this corner right here. Yeah, it just makes me feel happy and light up, and everything just feels like I am in tune with my drawing. So I feel like that's why I should put it there. But basically, yeah, if you want to add this kind of like saturation, add a little bit of color to your painting, you can always just take a more saturated color. So how I do is that so from this color, right? I never explain how I pick it. Okay, now this is the proper way of explaining it. Right? So I take this color, and then I just like, okay, green. Let's go green. I draw here. It's too bright. I draw here, and I'm like, okay, that's too bright. Actually, I'm just gonna do like mild green. I'm like, this is too bright. And so I shift it, but instead of shifting it down to have this color, I shift it to the side. So diagonally down here like this. Actually, like slightly diagonally. So something like this, right? And I'm like, okay, that's too bright. Just go back a little bit. Maybe this color. That's still a little bit too bright. Just go back a little bit more until I reach the ultimate color. Right, just like right here. And maybe I'm like, okay, I need a bit slightly bit darker. And I just shift it until I find the right shade. Where's this shade? Close enough. But something like that, where, you know, I shift the hue. So I shift the hue, and then I go diagonally here. So I preferably want to pick a more saturated color. And then for our final step, and this is what makes it more robot-ish, I think, or just a bit more specular, or like metal-ish kind of texture, is that I just take a very bright, very, very bright, I just take this color and I just go push it way up here until I reach some color like this, and then I just put it in the top corner like this. Just like that. Maybe it's just a bit too big. But yeah, like just a little pixel there. Alright, it's like a little shade right on top. You can adjust it until you see fit. But basically, that's kind of the idea. You add in a little bit more specular to it. I don't know what's it called. Is it called specular? I think it's called specular, right? Hopefully I'm getting it right. I'm just not spewing random fun facts, random stuff. Or, okay, so for a robot, you can always do this called, you know, like making all the highlight a square, like a rectangular or a square shape, because it makes it look more pixelated. So instead of having a more accurate, you know, make it have a biggest forehead possible. And I could always just push the eyes to the side a bit more, so it looks like it's looking to the left, like that, right? So you can always just adjust it so it suits your, you know, your taste, your robot taste. But yeah, that's basically the robot.